You're watching Georgette After Dark, my intimate interview series, and I have Avantia.
Hey,
girl. I had to practice your name. I was like, okay, wait. Is it Avantia? Is it Avantia? Is it? I'm sure you get that all the time.
It's a complicated one.
Is it?
I'm mad at my parents still.
Ooh.
30 years old still.
Listen, okay, thank you so much for being here.
I'm glad to be here.
I'm excited to have you. So we met at Viacom, the penultimate Viacom.
In New York.
In New York. And then I was just like, wait, I remember her because I ran into you in the Hollywood offices.
Yeah.
So you moved out to the LA. What brought you out to LA?
I was ready to go.
Yeah.
You know, the subway in New York, the cold. I couldn't do it.
I don't love it, but like I don't have to worry about like how I'm getting around.
True, for
yeah.
sure. But yeah, it was just time. I've been there since college, so it was just time to go and try something new in LA. And you know, I'm all about the sun and the hiking and having a good time.
Get that melanin out.
Exactly.
Out and about. So you work in music supervision.
Yes.
I mean, like in my mind, like I feel like there's so many things when it comes to music supervision. So please help me understand like what's entailed within that. How did you get into that with Viacom or just overall?
So actually, music supervision kind of found me. I knew I was always interested in it because of Entourage. That was like one of my favorite shows, and the music on there was so good.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I didn't know that could be a job. So just kind of learning about Broke Mogul and like his journey and everything like that definitely like, I was like, oh, that's something I could do. And then when I got to Viacom, I actually started in talent relations, and then I started working on the creative music integration team, which is like an in-house music supervision team for Viacom.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then it just from there, it just like shot up, and I was just like working on different shows and just kind of learning the process of music licensing, putting music in shows, working with labels and publishers to come up with like cool things, whether it's creating something to spec where you specifically have an artist come in and write something for a scene, or you work with the artist who has an upcoming release and, you know, license their music for that and kind of align it with the release. So it's like definitely been a dope journey.
Well, so obviously you didn't start at Viacom. You started at Music Choice.
Yes, I started at Music Choice and urban music programming.
10 years ago.
You did?
Yeah, I did. I feel like Music Choice was like the one place that everybody wanted to get into.
It was hot.
Like I wanted to do on-air hosting. I didn't get it, but whatever. So tell me how that started.
Yeah, that was like incredibly random how that job happened. I had like just graduated. I was like working at the Gap, and I was like, all right, like I gotta do something. Gotta get this money. And I actually had interviewed to be Santa Gold's assistant.
Oh, that's
dope. The same day I got that job offer, I got the Music Choice offer, and I was going back and forth like, well, I could go on tour, or I could do this, and I ended up choosing Music Choice.
Yep.
And it worked out perfectly because just that experience of just music programming really like kind of pivoted my career in terms of like learning about music supervision, because that's what you're essentially doing, like you're programming music to shows.
Well, you jumped from Music Choice to Viacom. Like, just talk about your journey, like, over... Because, like, you start to shape more of what you want to do once you start getting in it. So when you started at Music Choice, did you know, like, that's what you were going to jump into when you went to Viacom?
No, Viacom kind of fell out the sky. I had an intern there in college, and a friend reached out to me and was like, hey, we got a position open. You interested? It was like an assistant position at the time. And I was like, hey, cool. Yeah, I'm definitely down. It was like definitely on the list of things I want to do. It was like, I got to work for like VH1 MTV at some point in life.
Too.
Like growing up, I was watching like VH1 Jumpstart, the little MTV morning hours. Like that's like my whole like life. So that was just a dream to always like had worked there. So it was great to like intern there. But once I like actually got a full-time job there, it was like, psh.
And you were there for how long?
About 6 years. Jumping around, working with the different brands, working with BET, working with Paramount Network, MTV, VH1. So it was just like a great experience just to kind of like hop around, try different things, see what works, see what doesn't work, you know, and really kind of like figure out what I wanted.
What were some of the shows you worked on? Because I was at VH1 when I got to Viacom. That was my first stint. But what shows did you work on? Like, and what was that experience like as far as programming?
Love and Hip Hop was like my baby. That was my baby.
All of them, or was it just New York at the time?
All of them.
Yeah.
It was definitely overwhelming at times, but it was just like dope. We got such great artists to, you know, work with us. Like I was putting Vince Staples in there, Wale, Janae Aiko, like just all my favorites. So it was just dope to like work on something like that and be able to like work with a genre that I love so much because I love R&B.
Do you have to have an ear for that? Like, oh, this song would sound good on this scene. Like, how does that?
I think you have to have an ear for that. I don't think everybody always,
everybody always agrees with that, but just
for me, just connecting music with picture is just always something I've just been able to do since I was younger. So that just was like a natural ability that I was just able to have.
And now you're at Fox Sports. Because when I saw it, I was just like, wait, what did I miss? When did she leave? I was like, when did she leave Viacom?
Yeah, so now I am the in-house music supervisor for Fox Sports marketing specifically. So I work on promo reels and campaigns.
What was the difference between Viacom? Because we know that environment, right?
Yeah,
like, come as you are, and then Fox Sports seems so conservative.
Yeah, sports versus like just straight TV and film, it's just like, it's apples and oranges. It's very, very fast-paced. You're doing a lot of promos every week compared to like working at a network where you're doing a lot more storytelling. So when you're picking a song for a show, it's really about like setting the tone and the mood, and you're trying to draw the audience into a scene. You know, promos, you're trying to draw the audience in, but you're trying to sell something and pitch something.
Right.
So the objectives are completely different. So the music is different. It's something, you know, you only got like 15, 30 seconds to grab somebody's attention, whereas like doing a show, you know, you might have a use that goes from like 30 seconds to a minute and 30, so you have time to kind of like build out the scene and get people engaged. So that is definitely different, but it's been a dope experience so far.
So addressing the elephant in the room, you're a Black woman in this industry.
Yes.
Doing these things. What has that been like?
It is, it's challenging at times.
She's like, I can say something, but I can't say too much.
It's definitely challenging at times, but
Yeah.
I definitely have a great tribe, Black Women in Media Collective, started by a good friend of mine, and it's just basically a bunch of Black women in music supervision and clearances and music libraries and different music supervisors, and just having them just be supportive, bounce ideas off of each other, just kind of working together in this industry, and just they really have like showed me the ropes, kind of coming from New York and going to LA and just kind of learning all about the music supervision community. Because coming from New York, you know, we're in our own little, you know, New York bubble, and that transition to LA, it's like, well, this is the entertainment mecca. So I just really had to kind of really relearn the industry in a completely different way, because I was like solely focused on the music industry, and jumping into full film and television, it was just like a whirlwind. But that group has just been great, just like guiding me and helping me along the way.
Well, I was going to ask you about that, because for someone that wants to get in, like, what does that look like? And then film and television, like, what's the overall goal, right? Like, you're doing the music supervision for marketing of Fox. You did TV, but so how does one get into music supervision? Like, I feel like it's one of those things, like, there's no direct path. And then what is your overall goal since moving out to LA with music supervision?
I would say that if someone tells you to go to school for it, don't. It's just nothing like real world experience and just really being in the field. So I would definitely suggest like starting as a music coordinator to a music supervisor, or assistant in some kind of like publishing or licensing department at a record label or a publishing company.
That makes sense.
That's just definitely just the best way to like learn the ins and outs of just how things work. And long term, definitely still want to continue music supervision, but I have such a strong passion for film and television, so I definitely want to kind of get into scripted series development.
Money.
Money,
I hear, right?
Yeah. You know, music supervision is still a passion, and the great thing about it is it's something that you can always do freelance. It does not need to be something full time. So definitely, like, next steps for me is like diving into like the film and TV world on the scripted side.
I love it. Well, how has LA been, like, dating and just being on the scene out here? You know, I had to get that question in. I hear so many like,
I don't know. I'm a little biased because I came here with a tribe, so just kind of like going around and trying new things has just been super easy. My best friend is here. She literally lives 10 minutes from my house.
Yeah.
Dating, I've been in a relationship and I'm out of that, but so I haven't really tried to really date here. But I hear it's a little tough.
Yeah.
It's a little tough. But definitely I would say like relying on friend groups.
Has been your thing.
Yeah, definitely like meeting guys through friend groups. For sure.
I'm not mad at that.
I'm not the Tinder Hinge type.
Same.
I just can't do the internet
the
stuff.
apps.
I'm like, I can't talk through a screen and just no.
Yeah, so now we got to get into this After Dark segment.
Okay.
Where you get to reveal a little bit more intimate side of yourself. So, if 2 songs could describe you to a potential lover, what songs would they be and why?
Ooh. Janae Aiko, None of Your Concern.
Okay, so I missed that one because I need to listen to this.
It's good. Big Sean is the feature, which is just so many
That's
things.
Cute. That's cute.
So many things. Great track. And right now, I would say, Sir, That's Why I Love You with Sabrina Claudio. That's my jam.
Okay, everyone nodding, my crew's nodding their head like,
That is my jam. The whole Sir album, honestly, front to back.
Yeah, I love that. Wait, so I didn't get a chance to ask you, what are the last 5 songs you listened to? Because I feel like you look at music differently now, right?
Yeah. Okay, what did I listen to?
Because I need to add some songs to my playlist, girl. I was like, I know she got something.
I got you.
Yeah, you got, okay.
Well, those 2 I definitely listened to.
Okay, yep.
This morning. Wow. What did I listen to other than that? I listened to the Lucky Day album this morning as well.
Someone put me onto him.
He's phenomenal.
Yeah. Okay.
He's phenomenal. Yeah, I kind of just been bouncing back in the R&B bag. Like I get in these phases where I'm like listening to a lot of R&B, and then I like gotta go listen to like alternative rock bands and pop rock bands. So I'll be like throwing some Paramore up in there, some Evanescence, because you gotta have the variety.
I'm glad you know all these. I was like, okay, yep, I've heard of some of these people. I was like, I don't know these. Like now I know if I need music recommendations. Like, Avantia. Okay, so I need this, that. That's so dope. Avantia, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Wish you the best with everything. Black Girl Magic, of course. Yes.
All about it.